3 has become 4 in the last few moments because we're going to shift from football to boxing. And Adi Oladipo has joined us live in studio. talkSPORT fight pundit and host of DAZN boxing coverage. You get your case back. You're going to be sooner than later on your way out to Riyadh. Are you beginning to think, Adi, am I going to be seeing something special out there? Am I going to be seeing a fight that I will remember for all time?
Fingers crossed, right? I mean, when you have two of the best heavyweights coming together, unbeaten versus unbeaten, champion versus champion, everything on the line, you kind of hope it delivers. But boxing, you just never know. You can kind of put all the pieces together, and unfortunately, if the fighters don't come and fight, then it can be a damp squid. It feels like it's starting to gear up a little bit. I still feel like there are some fight fans that are maybe apprehensive because it has been cancelled and delayed and put off and dates have changed. So I feel like some fight fans probably won't believe it happens until they see Tyson Fury and Oleksandr Usyk in the ring. But as you say, I go out on Sunday and then we start the big sell because we are talking about an enormous fight here. If the heavyweight division's good, boxing is good. And as I say, these are two of the best heavyweights, undoubtedly number one versus number two, whichever way you play it.
Well, of course, Fury is beginning to talk. He's into full gear now as the clock is ticking. Tyson out there, and he was asked if he expects Usyk to be a tricky opponent.
Tricky, not so much, because he's a boxer and he can't trick me on anything. But Usyk's a bad man. You know, he's a real bad man. And any underestimation of Oleksandr Usyk, you'd be a mug. So I'm training hard for him, doing everything I can. I respect Usyk as a man, because he's a God-fearing family man, which I am myself. So I respect that more than any boxing achievement. And I respect his career as well. He's been Olympic champion. He's had 350 amateur fights or something. And he's been an undisputed cruiserweight champion. And he's been a unified heavyweight. Well, he is a unified heavyweight champion. So you have to respect that. I'm not fighting some guy who's had 14 and won 11. You know, I'm fighting the real deal as Holyfield. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to the challenge.
Usyk's a bad man, he says, Adi. I mean, we know that. He can certainly fight, and he fancies his chances, of course, big time to do a job on Fury. I mean, one wonders what Oleksandr Usyk is going to show up on the night, because he's by no means the size and scale of Tyson Fury. But he knows he's got a job to do and he knows exactly what he's going to do in the night. Yeah,
he's a heavyweight as well. I mean, obviously, look, the talk of Fury a couple of years back, saying he's a blown-up middleweight. He is a fully-fledged heavyweight now. Oleksandr Usyk is 6'3". He's going to weigh about 16 stone. It's because Tyson Fury is a giant. It makes Usyk not look like a proper heavyweight, but he's a big boy. And I think the tone has changed from Tyson Fury as well. A couple of years ago, almost dismissed Oleksandr Usyk. Now, as the fight draws nearer, I feel like you're starting to hear the respect from Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury knows he's in a real fight. This will be, I think, his toughest fight, and that's not easy to say considering he's fought Vladimir Klitschko and Deontay Wilder. But having seen Oleksandr Usyk up close a few times, he's as good as it gets. He is so skillful as Tyson Fury, former undisputed cruiserweight champion. You look at his amateur record, it doesn't get much better than Oleksandr Usyk, and I think Tyson Fury knows that. I've changed my mind on how I think this fight plays out so many times. Simon asked me in the break, who am I picking? And for a long time, I've always said Tyson Fury. But as the fight draws nearer, I kind of swing towards Oleksandr Usyk. I just think he's that special. And sometimes you have to go with, what have you done for me lately? And Tyson Fury lately, against Francis Ngannou, looked awful. And Oleksandr Usyk looked a bit better against Daniel Dubois. So look, it's a pick-em fight, but I think I'm swaying towards the Ukrainian.
One thing's for sure, and just Adi talking about it in the way he's talking about it, it's beginning to capture the imagination, isn't it, Simon?
Oh, yeah.
More than.
Oh, so it should. I mean, it's an event that doesn't happen very often. The last time it happened was with Lennox Lewis, and that's 25 years ago. So you have to take these things in stock. And I think it's an interesting one. Despite some of the banal, obnoxious things that have come out of Tyson Fury's mouth over the last 12 months, I still am a huge admirer of his work. And I think the problem with Fury is he needs a challenge. I don't think he regarded Ngannou as a challenge, put out a stinker of a performance. I don't think he regarded Otto Wallin as a challenge, put out a stinker of a performance, and made Otto Wallin's reputation get bigger as a result of it. He knows he's in a challenge now. He knows he's got a life on in front of him. And so I think you'll see the best version of Fury. People suspect that Fury can't do what he did once before, that the reasons why he's standing in the middle of the ring and going toe-for-toe with people is because he can't move like he used to move. Well, we're going to find out if that's the case. Because if he can, a good big-'un will always beat a good small-'un. And he is a good big-'un. And I think you'll find...
Is it as simple as that?
I think most of the time it tends to be, yeah. I mean, there were exceptions. Yeah, you can run the Evander Holyfield exception with Riddick Bowe back, and you can find other exceptions, but they're the exceptions, not the rules. We're talking about the rule. I think you'll see the best version of Tyson Fury, and you'll need to. I mean, I don't know if we learned anything. I don't think Usyk was brilliant against Dubois. I think there's questions that got asked of him of Dubois. I think Anthony Joshua in the first fight handed Usyk the fight by fighting completely the wrong fight, and then psychologically wasn't the same fighter when he fought him the second time round. So this is the real step up for Usyk as well.
Yeah,
true. This is a massive step up for him.
Carl Robinson in studio. I know you love a whole variety of sports, and you no doubt, like everyone, how could you not tune in for this? I'm fascinated by it, I have to say, Carl.
I'm not a massive boxing fan, but when it comes to these sort of fights,
everybody
who loves sport will want to watch it. I'm just one of them old-fashioned boxing fans that just want to see two fellas go toe-to-toe and just have a right good scrap, even though I know Usyk's got a little bit more about him technically and stuff. But
do you think Tyson Fury can beat Usyk on points?
No.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say.
I don't. I think.
Why is that? Because of the work that Usyk will have put in by that stage.
Yeah, I think Usyk starts slow, but then he starts to really pick up the rounds as they go on. Like he starts slow, but then starts to come on. Whereas I think Fury, just might not have enough in terms of picking up those points. Like it almost becomes an amateur boxing scoring thing with Usyk, where he lands and moves, and moves.
Angles.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas Fury wants this to turn into a brawl like it was with Deontay Wilder. And Usyk's not going to stay there to turn it into the kind of fight Fury wants. Honestly, though, it's such a fascinating fight. And to pick on to Carl's point about wanting to see two people go at it, it might turn into that. There might be a time when Usyk has to stay there and get the respect from Fury and just have to take one to land one. If it turns into that, we've got something special. But I can see more of a chess match between the two, and I almost feel like Usyk's the grandmaster of chess.
I don't think either one of them will fear the other person's power.
Yeah,
because neither one of them are that concussive, are they? We're not talking about Deontay Wilder sort of concussive power. We're talking about two guys that will wear you down with attrition. I know that Fury knocked out Dillian Whyte, but Dillian Whyte was beat before he walked in the ring. Yeah. With due respect to Dillian. I think this has got the makings of a really fascinating fight, but I don't think, if we're looking for the Fabio Wardley sort of Fraser Clark complete and utter tear up, I don't think you're going to have that.
We're not going to see that. I mean, to me, if it's a chess match, that might equal uneventful.
Maybe that happens sometimes when you put two supreme boxers in there with each other. That happens, but I think Simon alluded to it earlier. Fury's style has changed a little bit now. He now does sit in the middle of the ring. He sits on his shots. He doesn't box and move like he used to against Vladimir Klitschko. He now comes to have a fight. And that could be fun. It's not good for Fury, but it's fun for us fight fans. Yeah. And I think we've seen Usyk start to do that as well.
Are you keen to find out more about what the man they call His Excellency, Turki Al-Sheikh, has been saying, in that the revelation that Fury-Usyk rematch is already planned?
I hope not.
For October, either the 12th or the 13th in Riyadh. And that would begin the next Riyadh season. There it is, boxed into that date, the rematch.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. I understand why rematch clauses are there, but for this one, no. If Tyson Fury wins, if I'm AJ and I'm Eddie Hearn, this is it. This is the time to make it. It's bigger than ever. Wembley Stadium supposedly booked for September. For AJ can only fill Wembley Stadium if it's Tyson Fury in the opposite corner. So if Tyson Fury wins and he wins well, do we want to see it again, or do we want to see Fury versus AJ? We've rolled the dice so many times in this Fury-AJ thing, and luckily enough, it still could happen. It could still generate a lot of money for both fighters, and it needs to happen over here. So if September is booked for AJ and Fury wins, we don't want to see Fury-Usyk again. They're both at an age where they need to fight each other now. It's never going to happen. Let's just move on. Fury-AJ, Wembley, September. Make it happen.
Well, that depends, isn't it? I mean, the first person, if the boot was on the other foot, there would be a rematch clause in there for Anthony Joshua, and he would be wanting that rematch in the same way that he got the rematch with Usyk when he lost the first time. I think that you got an undisputed. There was no way this fight was not going to be made, realistically speaking, without someone wanting a rematch clause in there. Now, if it's a convincing and compelling victory, then you look at it differently. But what you've got is the Saudis deciding the direction of boxing. They're taking away all the barrier to entries. There's no financial issues. They're pulling people in line, and they're pulling people in line because they're the biggest dog in the room with the most money.
Would you want to see it again, though? As a fight fan, would you want to see Fury-Usyk again, knowing AJ is out there?
Well, if the fight goes a certain way, and if it's a
it depends how it goes.
If it's a dull fight that gets one on points because one fighter is technically better than the other in the fight, or if it's a streak away and Fury knocks him out in the first round, no, not necessarily.
Yeah.
But if the fight produces an outcome like Josh Taylor, Jack Catterall, you go, Christ, that was a fight, and something happened in that fight I don't like.
Yeah.
Then of course I would.
Well, curiously, the same Turki Al Sheikh, Adi has also said he's eyeing Tyson Fury to fight Joshua March 2025. So he's getting way ahead of himself. But more immediately, let's concentrate on Fury Usyk. And a man who tried to concentrate on doing a job on Usyk and failed, Tony Bellew, will join us next.